So I've got my little syringe bottles through. There's some small ones and bigger ones. And the most important thing is they've got these nozzles. I don't know if you can make out in there. They've got some really fine gauge nozzles in here. So I'm going to try these and try and inject into the tape here on the boat and see if we can get these hardened up. I've actually just been on the Mirror forums and some guys had exactly the same problem as me, and he was doing exactly the same process. So let's see if we can make it work. Okay, there we go. There's the bottle with the really thin needle on, and now we're going to try see if we can like inject this under here. So I'm going to start right up here. I've got to work quite fast. Let's see, is any... Now, the trouble I'm thinking is this needle, it might just be too thick. Oh yeah, you can see it coming out, but... Oh, where are we? There. With the GoPro, you can see it coming out, but it's very, very slow. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get a bigger top. Let's see if... Let's go the camera a bit. Let's see if that's a little bit more successful. Yes. Well, we'll work with this one and we'll see if we can get that working. I'm using the polyester based stuff, resin stuff. I should be a bit more technical than that, because someone said it will be better, more compatible with the age of the boat. So I hope I got that the right way round. So you can see it working its way in there. I don't know if you can make that out as I push in. Yeah. A lot of this cracking is actually varnish, so I should probably have taken this varnish off as well, a bit more, but I don't know. We're doing our best. We're doing our best to see what we can do. So you get the general idea. So I'm gonna continue with that and see where we get to. So here's the inside of the boat. So I did these two seams. Let me just zoom out. I did this seam along the edge of the sort of corner of the buoyancy tank there, and I did the same one along the bottom, and I injected. The process went really well, I have to say that, and I just went all the way along here and I kept pricking little holes where there's a gap behind here, and I just filled it up, and you can actually see when I was doing it that it went from this sort of colour to this sort of colour. You could see the resin going in, and I have to say that looks like it definitely has fixed the problem. There's no crunching when you press down now. It seems really solid. Now there were some areas like this little bit here that just the tape had just split along the bottom. So I don't have any. I know you're supposed to use the tape and the mesh, what do they call this, fibre, they call this, I've got it over here, top strand isn't particularly strong, but it's better than nothing, and it's all I have. So I've banged a bit of that on, and I've sanded it down, but I don't want to do it too much, so I'm gonna just then put some more epoxy over that. I put a little bit of epoxy in these gaps, and then, it's pretty cool. It's definitely in better condition than I bought the boat in. There's a little bit more chop strand here, and then along the bottom here. Oh yeah, the bottom wasn't as bad as the top. Yeah, this is brilliant. I mean, this is really amazing. I've got a little bit of epoxy over this. I mean, I'm not worried how it looks. I just want it to be waterproof, and I want it to look after me. And it's actually quite strong. You can feel the wood not moving now. Now, I didn't manage to get this bit done. There's a little, it's not bad, it's just the bits here. So this upper back piece here, I got to do that today. The little nozzle that I was using was just the right size. It was thin enough to get in and thick enough to deliver resin, but it seemed to clog up a little bit as time went on. So I'm going to mix a new bottle up. I'm going to do that strip down there, and then I'm going to do some last. I'm going to probably use the remainder of that epoxy. I'm gonna thicken it up with my little granules, my silica granules. I'm gonna fill up the last little holes I can find on the boat, and then the inside will be ready for a final sand and then the varnish. Now, the reason I've been focusing on the hull rather than the inside of the boat is the varnish actually dries quicker than the paint. So this new compass varnish I've got, where it is somewhere, don't know where it is, where have I put it? The compass varnish I've got dries, I think, in 8 hours. Ah, here it is. I wanted to just double check that. So so the compass varnish I've got, it's touch drying too, 45 minutes actually at 15 degrees, and it's, yeah, overcoat 8 hours minimum, 1 month maximum. Okay, so you know, I can get, if I can get up early, get a coat on, I can get another one on in the evening. Overnight it should dry another, so I can do 4 coats in 2 days, which is what I'm looking to do. The paint, the yacht primer, is a 24-hour overcoat, and the paint, which is actually in there, I found it in my little spares thing. Let's have a quick look at the paints. Oh, did I rip that? Yeah, that's okay. I've lost the oh, it's there. So the paint is at 15 degrees, 3-hour touch dry, 16-hour overcoat. I was doing 8-hour overcoats on the Sea Hopper, leaving it outside in the summer, and it was drying perfectly well. And it's so far it's had really good wear. So I think we'll get away with 1 coat a day. We could push for 2 if we push for time. I'm only going to put 2 coats on the hull, if that. Yeah, I finished. So I mixed up. So no, let me just get my extra light I've got here. My light on my top of my GoPro has just run out of battery. Anyway, so I've done this seam here. It's gone really well. It's dripped all in behind that little bulge you can see there. So I'm hoping that will have the same effect as down here. If so, I think we're good to go. And then what I did was, you might just see it in there. It's a bit bright. I mixed up some really, really thick. Let's see if we can see. Oh, it's so thick I can't even get it on there, but some really, really thick. It's almost like I don't know what that's like really. Don't know. It's very, very gloopy, and the reason I've done that is that I wanted to just get some nice padding across this fiberglass I've done here. There's some holes along here, you know, little gaps in the varnish as well, and down various places, and this will stick. Whereas, you know, any runnier, it will just run off and drip. Likewise, I've done the same on the front here. It looks a bit of a mess, that does, but once it's once that is sanded, it'll all look good. And I think we're good to go. You know, there's a few little areas like here that look a little bit messy, but it's solid. It's got, you know, it's been epoxied, and it's going to get a bit of varnish over the top, and I think that's going to be fine. I'm not precious. I think it'll be fine. The object is to get the boat out on the lake and to have some fun. So looking good so far. I think that's us probably done for the day. Tomorrow we will get varnishing, we'll get sanding, and then we'll get the paint on.